Young man, your mother may have had some relationship with law enforcement. Maybe your father has a private security company that does one of those contracts with the state. But unfortunately, I was evicted and I was banned under completely fraudulent pretenses, including after I contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigation because I had concerns about the safety of you and others around your age in that specific environment. I was concerned that people that were operating under the alleged authority of the state were gambling on people like you and the other young people you were in a peer group with in the course of getting your driver's license. This was reinforced when, within that same year, the same year I understand was the centennial of a very important institution with which you were affiliated. And it's how I encountered you. That same year, there was a museum in the city that featured an exhibit entitled Spy Kids. Oh, maybe it's just for fun. You're precocious, you're investigative, maybe you know something about world events, maybe you even have a family history of intrigue. Who knows? Maybe your family member was one of those veterans that had to get very important information to the troops to make sure that they were successful in battle. You know, some of us actually come from legacies where fighting Nazis is actually a form of pride. It's not the thing you hide and make confidential. But sometime later, after I end up in the city where the concern was, by the way, Spy Kids turns out to be an actual program affiliated with the Central Intelligence Agency itself, at least insofar as it wants to be represented online. And the speculation on that same concern, having to do with people about to get their first driver's license, turns out to be very real. Turns out to actually be involved with somebody that thinks that they have the authority to actually engage in premeditated acts of murder against members of law enforcement, that also engage in leveraging with premeditated acts of murder involving minors, including by other minors, including other minors that are in the course of attempting to get their first driver's license. And then a representative from that city ends up as the National Director of Intelligence. I'm sorry if you wished there was a better characterization of your community. So do I. But there's also no legitimate reason to ban me and then make our entire culture confidential so that somebody else can spy on us and steal it for contract bids that we are not even legally eligible to participate in ourselves. I hope they did not decide to make you some non legal tender convertible virtual currency, hoping that you would be paired with somebody from the other side of the tracks in order to get that capital neutral sort of bottom line that your life has been completely debased into. See, if I see one demographic group of people being put into a high risk context regarding crime, it's really hard for me to say to them, you know what? They don't like being associated with that kind of crime. Right? If it makes you feel any better, in some confidential context, the kind of crime they're actually trying to promulgate on you was addressed concurrent to what's reported in the media. But I'm still banned, and you still should not even be on this bandwidth.